Thank you. Lauren, if you could, please tell what you feel that you could have done better. Anything?
Well, for me personally, I wish I wouldn't have voted at all on a couple of things I voted on just because of the possibility of somebody thinking I did something wrong. But as far as for the town, no, it's been night and day for our town. We can't, and I know it's been said by someone who was unhappy with the wind farm, that our taxes aren't down. Actually, our taxes are down slightly. Because of the economic development zone, we cannot cut tax rates like at this point. Once we're done with the or a little farther into it, we can cut some rates. We have been able to do a few things for residents to, like we have full townwide trash pickup. And on the other hand, even we used to live on a bit with a budget of $300,000 through about 2004. And now it's about 1.2 million. Now, the trick is, folks, we've been, our roads and everything, equipment, buildings, we still don't have a good well. We're building a cold storage. We got a ways to catch up. But so we're not having any trouble finding a place for the money. And we also know that the state's tied into it, so we certainly don't spend it before we get it. Matter of fact, after we get it, we wait a while to spend it after some troubles a year ago.
Stay right there. Does flicker from the turbines change with the season, and is it constantly throughout the day?
No, if you think about, if I steal your wind tower. There's a house sitting over here. Okay, it's kind of, well, let's say my house is here. During winter, when the sun stays farther to the south and it sets over here, that point in time when the sun is at this level, I mean, if it's too far up, it just shoots right down in the ground with any reasonable setback, you're not going to get it. If you're too far away, you're not going to notice it. So there's a point, if the sun is sort of at this level for that couple hour or whatever, either at the start of the day or the end of the day, and again, as with us, as the sun is setting farther to the north, it will start coming so that we get some through some of the summer. And again, that's all, they did a flicker study, although I hate to pick on our company, because when I saw the study, my house wasn't in the flicker zone. I didn't call them back and tell them it was, but maybe they defined it as a certain number of hours. But at our house, we have a short time. I'm going to say maybe a month that it can hit some. We notice it more, I think, in the fall because things have been warmer, especially with this spring. We're not outside that much lately. But anyway. So again, you don't get it. It's in general the start of the day and the end of the day, and they really watch it, especially at least from my experience, especially for non-participating people. If they're paying you $6,000-7,000 to have the tower there, and it's the optimal position, the person might not mind that flicker. Just pull the curtain.
Very good, thank you. John, does it matter to you that the revenue you are enjoying is for a product that is unreliable and inefficient and comes at taxpayer expense?
Well, I don't know. As far as being reliable, I've kept track. Last summer, the windmills run almost every day. There was very few times that there was no wind at all. It has to be a 6-mile-an-hour wind, and very few days at times during a day that there was no wind that they wasn't running. The developers told me that they're generating just about 90%, which the average is only 30% in our particular area. We have plenty of wind. We're not that far from the city of Buffalo. The majority of our power before the wind turbines came from Niagara Falls. There's an agreement with Canada and the United States that they can only divert so much water over the falls for generating power, and the United States is right at their limit. They cannot use any more water for generating electricity. So the windmills have picked up a lot of that slack, for the extra power. And I guess another thing, think back, when I was a kid back 60, 70 years ago, you didn't get any electric toys. Everything was board games or a tricycle or a wagon or something like that. Now at Christmas, what is it that you don't get that isn't electric? Electronic toys, games, or, everything seems to be electric. We're using a lot more electricity than we did, even 20 years ago or 15 years ago. And they can't pick it up with, from Niagara Falls, and a lot of these coal generating plants with the emissions that they have to meet, they're in trouble too. So the wind is picking up the slack, I think, and it's, as far as the money, we have a contract for 20 years. The rate goes up, our fee goes up anywhere from 2% to 3.5% per year, depending on the consumer price index. Right now it stays flat at 2%, but I don't know if we'll ever see the 3.5%, but we did not go on production. I went on a flat fee. I figured we're going to get a check regardless if they run or not, so that's what I was looking for, something to steady income the year, every year. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but I tried.
Thank you. To anyone who would know the answer, any comments about a wind farm in a tourist area? And are there any wind farms located in a tourist area that you might know of? Does anybody know or of any that are in a tourist area, so to speak? Cape Benson is a great tourist area.
There are some, and I'm trying to think what county it's in, that you can actually see from one of the Finger Lakes. Where was I? I was on Canandaigua Lake. It was at the southern end of Canandaigua Lake, and I can't tell you what town it's in. Is that Chattagay? No. Cohocton. That's the one that you can see from. You can see from the lake. So that's the closest one I can think of that that's in or near a tourist area. There's also the I believe the Hardscrabble wind farm that's going up in Herkimer County is also near one of the Finger Lakes. But I'm kind of speculating on that. I'm not that. But I know when I was down at the Otesaga, which is in Cooperstown, at the one end of the lake, there's a wind farm that has been proposed.